There comes a time of enlightenment when you come to realize that your goodness and sense of tolerance, forgiveness, and love for resolve is being greatly taken advantage of. And you come to know that the advantage is not upon your peace of mind, but the other who is causing all of the conflict and dismay, and you are left to be but a carpet, to be walked upon as well as laid upon for their security, while you are consistently left to feel insecure. Despite of your goodness and sense of forgiveness, there are some who will stretch that, strain that, and choke that into an unbearable pain and humiliation upon your mind and soul, and they do this with the mind that they just are absolutely sure that you will tolerate more and more of their disrespect, unfaithfulness, and lack of dedication to you, because they know that no one else, who they deal with while you are not around or someplace fighting for your life, will be foolish enough to assume a pointless responsibility that truly will not evolve past the bed sheets. It is vital to understand your true worth in this dilemma, unless you will continue to be used and abused, and when you need support, will desert you with excuses when you truly need their presence. You have the power to change and thus, to end this tragic reality by simply saying and meaning with all of your heart and mind 2 words, no more. Once these words are felt in your very being, first, and then spoken with conviction and love for your peace of mind, you will come to know that you had this power all along. It's just that you spent a lot of time focusing your love, your dedication, and your energy upon the wrong individual, trying to help what can't be helped. Remember to love your life and never allow anyone to cause your life misery simply because they have a relationship with misery instead of you. Each living human being who truly have clarity that they are indeed alive, within living, are struggling with similar entities, as well, trying to remain out of the way of the gifts of clarity that fills in the voids within the mind and soul, so they can be filled for the sake of the fulfillment of peace of mind and living a life of productivity. The ever-going trauma of void and troubled souls are perceived as an endangerment to the well-being of the mind and are subject to be negated the moment they are revealed, without the host being primarily concerned of how the other will feel or respond. Reality is perceived within a specific measure of perception by those who accuse others of not living within reality upon a daily, moving and universal journey. Their reality is limited with a circumference that only gives life meaning to those who are able to identify with it, failing to know that each human being's reality is a collective meaning and perception into a personal state that only they can truly identify with. No one is responsible for filling in your void but you. You as a living human being are destined to move with your living purpose towards a greatness that only you can enjoy to its fullness. Until then, it is not wise to expect everyone to fill in where they are not responsible for filling in, as they have their own journeys to walk, of where there is a path there that is solely a private and designated one for them to walk. Get a hold of yourself and be a fulfillment unto yourself, and end getting angry and frustrated of something no one else is responsible of resolving but yourself. It is true that many of us are living within a time of sorrow. But these times are also vital moments of identity. New times are visited upon you always for the primary purpose of growth and to reveal the unlimited reality of your gifted inner strength. It is sometimes a difficult task to place your mind upon a strength and endurance that is said to you that you have, but your state of existence is a major factor of that truth. Sorrow is only ordained for a short period. It is a chapter within a book in which has only your name upon it, despite who is there as a participant for you to acquire the truths within the experience. You feel the most pain of the sorrows of the earth because you in your sensitive nature, mind and spirit are they who will help others endure and make it through the storms that try to wash their hopes and dream away. It is indeed you who have come from the bottom of the abyss to guide them by example into better places of the mind and spirit by understanding their sorrows, and where those sorrows are there to hold destruction and also there to empower evolution. The opposing factors in terms of the affects within sorrow is growth or non-growth. In those times of a misunderstanding of the effects of sorrow, hold it stepbrother and sister frustration who always try to force you to think that quitting is more beneficial for you than to continue. They are to be negated as destructive, and only the jewels of the effects of sorrow are made vital. Rise up your inner places. Allow your tears to stream and then dry into memory without trying to catch them in a jar of harsh realities that will only betray your present hour of clarity. You have always been created by a tremendous force that has made you to survive your sorrows. So, recognize your vitality and keep moving forwards. In living we come to find that within the time of pain also comes a healing in the same movement. As difficult times enter, peace is also within that movement. The two living gifts are indeed one and the same, working in a harmonious manner for the objective in which gives the human being enough strength and understanding to move forwards with a humility and ability of acceptance we never knew we possessed. In this we come to realize we have it through the pain. The power and impact of grief causes us within that time to think that it is a burdensome moment that is of an unceasing measure of pain without the measure of time, because it feels sacred as well as totally emotionally and psychologically consuming because it's new and sudden. We are never thought to be prepared, as we are to find out that we have always been contained with what is necessary to survive even before we were physically born. We wish for the pain to cease immediately, the same as understanding why the grief is present, and also justifying its presence because of the love we have for those who have passed on to another state of existence. I found in grief a wisdom and understanding of life and living that can only be accumulated for the purpose of becoming more enlightened of life and its seemingly perplexed moments that seem to be created for our inner destruction according to principles we know are better to hold on to for our sanity upon a humanitarian level. I find that the easiest and therefore most dangerous thing to do during trying times is the loss of your UN-indoctrinated divine judgment, your rational intuition that seems to go in opposition of your emotions that are always revealed to be irrational and destructive. The real war will forever be within and of how we respond to experiences set before ourselves. Many have observed the forgiveness principle and idea as a form of dealing responsively to their challenges, when it is nothing more or less than an escape from the reality of what is without putting forth the interest for resolving the matter honestly and completely as it should be. Grief can never be understood by rejecting it, running from it, because upon the other side of grief is peace. Only then is forgiveness a possibility. Remembering in observation of hurt feelings and trying times that healing comes with pain and grief, one is made to understand the importance of endurance and its gift as we simply decide not to destroy ourselves in more ways than one. We choose to survive the storm. In living I find that it is very easy to become frustrated because of the hurt of many previous disappointments. It has been the journey of living that in spite of all of the experiences in life that fail to transpire in the way that we would desire them to, we find that our own desires in many cases can be diverted into other directions that will venture us into matters that are not good for us emotionally, but are still good for our minds and spirits in coming to realize of where true love resides inside of our heart, mind and spirit. Love in the early stages of our life is not a love that is contaminated with lustful thinking, in which is not love, because love has nothing to do with the fulfillment of pleasure. Love has nothing to do with the pursuit of the conquering of the flesh of someone for the sake of accumulating a memory of ecstasy and therefore ownership. When there is that someone in your life that has remained in your mind and heart for years and years, you come to realize love in its purest is that which has you a captive inside of a place of which helps you to understand the flower when it blooms and reveals its inner vitality and beauty. That love that was planted inside of you during the time of when you both were just in the seed stage of life, when there was only a love there, not lust, not ambition and not even what is known this day as romantic implications. It is love within its purest simplicity, in which is the most powerful and last magnetic source of a union that is obvious despite the past mistakes made in other times of your journey. There is always that one who you never stop feeling that purest of love for, in its innocence, in its sincerity, in its very essence. There is that place inside of you that you have always known existed. In most instances and almost instinctively random, you have discussions with others of this place inside of where your true peace resides that is unexplained with the words of any given or accumulated language of common expression. No words are able to explain it, no matter of the language. It is beyond a tongue because it is inside of a feeling, inside in which comes with a transmitted voice in which is only understood inside by you, even though you are too limited for the will of explanation. In all cases what is indeed divine will never be able to be explained or articulated because its state of existence is sacred and is not to be contaminated with the common perception. The common perception is simply the education that was imposed upon us in our minds as a diversion of the facts of the spiritual state of being. It holds a beauty that only you have helped create unconsciously, that only you would understand despite of how it appears to others. I am certain that you have felt this of your own spirit, as it is so profound in feeling and its divine expression, that it silences your effort to explain it out of the mentality that is only a clutter in regards to the environment of the world and its misconceptions and preconditions. Your inner peace is that state of being of where you know that the corrupted effects of this present society and its self-destructive elements holds a universal mind and spirit. In complete carelessness of those burdens in which imprisons you to feel the necessity to conform to for the protection of the madness that most human beings have to bear. It is your place of silence and perception beyond the folly and inconsistencies of mere knowledge. It is indeed your own personal heaven that you have forever been created and contained within, which there is no sadness, no anger, no rage and no inner burdens. To understand that importance of leaving it sacred and not putting forth a dangerous effort of trying to articulate it with others who will only try to explain what has not even been explained to you in its fullness, is key. It is your inner place that is the ultimate refuge for healing and rejuvenation. It has been given to you as a gift of the divine Creator itself. Those who has come to understand meditation and its benefits, understand this. Written by David Anthony Brayboy.